Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickel is a psychic medium healer, numerologist, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there's always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Psychic Hour on WLTK-DB. Let's Talk Radio. This is the reading show. So if you wanted to get a question in, this is a time where we do numerology readings, psychic modalities, where we're doing cards at times, or just like feeling into what's going on with the question. This is the show for it. Hi, Luann. So welcome, everybody. We talk for a little bit. We open up the space. We open up the energy. And then in a little bit, we dive into readings. And then that is your chance to ask your question. So pop down your question if you want. In order to get a reading, you have to say, hey, I want a reading. It always helps if you pop down your birth date. I'm a numerologist, so I love to grab numbers and information for your question as well. And hello, Deb. It's nice to see everybody coming on in. And so the topic of the day that I wanted to dive into was knowing your goals, knowing your purpose, or starting to shape your goals and your purpose. Like, we're all on a path, right? Whether it's spiritual development, whether it's our intuition development, or if it's something we are slowly finding, what do I want to do here? I think I want to be more like that, and discovering who we are. And I'm sure you've heard, like within relationships, that within the lists of the person we're looking for, or within the lists of something that we are just, cultivating, what do I want in a partner? There's non-negotiables. Well, I don't think non-negotiables are accentuated enough when we are finding our purpose and we have goals. We need to have, we talk about the word boundaries, yes, but we need to have always better understanding and a stronger consciousness of what certain things mean. And so non-negotiables, I think, are another angle at how we have healthy boundaries. So think about it. Like, what's something that you've really wanted to do, whether it's go on vacation or have a new business, or let's say it's a new relationship, or with your health. And what are the obstacles that you are constantly running into? Well, it's probably because it's hitting up against some of those non-negotiables. Like, for instance, if I am developing, let's say, within my business, I can need to take on more readings because I want to. Let's say I want to read more. Or let's say I want to teach an extra class, right? And I go, oh, I need more energy. Because that's what all this is. Just like, what are you doing with your load of energy? Like, can you hold it? What are you going to be able to do with that which you have? And so I go, okay, what do I need to do to have more energy? And I go, all right, I need to go to sleep on time to make sure that I have enough energy. And so I have, like, a goal. Like, I can't go to bed past 12:30, because if I do, my energy won't be high enough in order for me to do more. Or if I want to do an event or another class, okay, well, then I have to make sure I'm walking extra because I need to replenish my energy. Okay. Or I need to be taking more salt baths. And so if I don't do these things, my energy dips. It does. So I go, what my non-negotiables are, I have to, I can't say no to the things that I need. I can't overlook the things that I need. That becomes my non-negotiable. Or like simple things, right? If I'm doing readings, or if I'm doing some type of engagement within my work where I need to be very clear and energized, I don't try to consume a lot of cheese or dairy because I know it can make me feel heavy. I love, you know, I love some good dairy. Don't get me wrong. Cottage cheese is amazing. Pizza is amazing. All that fun stuff. Or like a fancy cheese board. Oh goodness me, my right. But it's like I know that my sinuses will act up, and then I won't feel as energized. So overlooking my diet is a non-negotiable. And growing up, or expanding my horizons, or even now, let's say if I want to do something that's like special, I know that I have to conserve my resources. I go, okay, I want to go to this class, or I need to develop myself, and I'm going to invest in a good teacher. I would save my money, and I wouldn't do frivolous things. Like I wouldn't go out when I was developing and hang out with my friends and spend money on things that I felt like I didn't need. So it's like, what do you not need and what do you really need? And to make the switch for that. So, there was always an opportunity. If I wanted to get something, I would get it because I would go, I've saved my resources. And so if I have the perfect time to take a class, if I have a perfect time to develop with something that I feel like is important to my soul, I can now take it because I've saved up my resources. So, yeah, there was just a lot of things that I had to conserve and restrict, but it felt like it was the best choice for me. And there are times where it feels like, oh, like this is difficult, this is hard. There are times where I battle myself because I go, "Oh, I just wanna relax. I just wanna relax." But the healthiest option is getting to bed early, or doing some type of exercise, or doing some type of goal that will fulfill and link up to my purpose. So we all have them. And this is what I want to put out, like, ultimately. Make a list of what you are trying to manifest this year and work on this year. And then write down all the things that you find like stops you from getting it. I think it's as simple as that. And this is so important. It's like, why do we talk about this stuff? Because it's like personal development and spiritual development and psychic mediumship. Like they go hand in hand, and healing, they go hand in hand. Like when you're giving a reading to someone, you're going like, whoa, okay, what's going on in your future? Like, is this what you want? Or what's going on right now? Does this serve you? And it's not like we're ever telling someone what to do. We're just aware of what the soul needs and what the soul wants. And to understand that relationship within ourselves, what do we need and what do we want? And sometimes our needs and our wants are conflicting. And we really have to know our soul to understand its struggles, its battles, and also ultimately what it is trying to achieve. And those are huge questions. And I think that it really fulfills everybody to kind of sit with themselves and go, okay, what have I been trying to accomplish, and what has been getting in the way? So, like I talked about it, for me, it's like, you know, the sleep thing and making sure that I have enough energy to go get what I need. And so I start to understand my non-negotiables based on how I need to have a certain amount of energy to have my goals. All right? Or like with health, I have Invisalign. I have not been popping on that Invisalign as much as I need to. So, in order to get to my health goal, I have to discipline my mind. And so, what has been keeping me from disciplining my mind? Has it been I've been distracted? I've been taking on too much? Has it been that I am stressed out and I don't want the constriction on my teeth, that sensation? There's so many things about why we do the things that we do. And when you break it down like that, it becomes very like, I, wow, I just kind of have to tackle this. I just have to tackle that. And if you can understand within a person, like when you're reading for them, when you see their energy, what kind of is holding them back, I think that's way more powerful than just describing what's happening to them, if that makes sense. If you understand what's holding someone back, or their emotional struggles or objections, or their daily routine where they're just really having a hard time, and to give them some encouragement or a different angle with what the soul needs, that's worth its weight in gold, rather than just describing like where they've been walking in their house and their daily routines and what they're like. I think that's the biggest takeaway. Like, if you want to understand others, if you want to understand yourself, you have to go into these deeper processes where, life isn't forcing you to look at it. You're looking at it to help actually flow with life. A lot of times life will corner us and force us to look at something and be like, you have to do this in order to change, or you're not going to get what you want, or you're not going to be successful, or you're really at this like crossroads, right? We all have moments like that. that's that is a part of life. We find ourselves at these crossroads and we go, what am I going to do with that information? And am I going to continue to be the same? And really, that's how we evolve a lot. But when we have some type of flexibility and we're not just surviving, I'm sure you've heard surviving versus thriving, then we can actually start to take the reins more and more and go, okay, what do I really want out of life? Not just what I have to do. And we have to look at our whys, and we have to look at what makes up our energy and what things that we find ourselves running into all the time. So it's a state of mind, as well as a behavioral invitation to change. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to kind of start looking around. We're going to do readings in just a moment. So hi to everyone coming in: Christy, Kevin, Betty, Teresa, Cara, Renee. Thank you. And we're going to be going into readings in a second. And just make sure you say, hey, I'd like a reading, and put down your numbers, put down your question, and then that's away how we go. Okay. All right. Always take a drink of whether it's tea or water before we begin. Today it's some water with electrolytes. Electrolytes, don't sleep on those. Sometimes we drink loads and loads of water and we're just not getting hydrated. And that's because some of the water just doesn't have minerals, or we have a mineral deficiency. So spray minerals, spray, find some type of supplement. You can like drop minerals in your water, or, you know, find some gorgeous mineral water. And that will help with your energy levels for sure. So, speaking of, all right, so let's start. And okay, Deb was at the top and she says, hey, I'd love a reading. And then she gives me the birth date. Excellent. So we will start with Deb. Thank you so much, Deb, for opening it up with me. Okay, let's take your numbers. Okay, 621. So you are an attitude 9. You're an attitude 9, and you're a personal day 3. And then your life path is a 5, I believe. Let me just double check that. That is right. Yep, that is right. And then Deb, you are in a cycle of 7. Okay. Okay. So what I'm seeing within your energy, so we talked about, non-negotiables and boundaries and a different angle of that. And so for Deb, that's like really important because she's an attitude 9. And so that means the way her mind works is she just naturally has this really compassionate heart. And she is a type of person that will kind of give you the shirt off her back if, the reason is true to her, if it feels like somebody is in need. And what really cultivates that is, so at a young age, when you were growing up, you kind of had to assert the role of being kind of in charge and helping others often. So it's something that you know from quite a young age. Um, and so nine attitude people, they're just very naturally open-hearted. And so it's just a matter of, well, what do you want to do with that? Because if it's being put to use actively, you kind of fulfill this like longing to help others, or this like mission that you have within yourself. Well, it's the right thing to do. So that's kind of what I want to highlight. So when we take action within our life, sometimes we take action, or sometimes we are like reactive to the situation. And then we find ourselves in like these situations with like, why did I do that? Or, wow, I feel a little bit drained, or it was the right thing to do, but that person wasn't very appreciative and now they don't have my back. Like, equally. So there's like this lack of balance with what you're giving out and what you're receiving. So that's why I encourage you, like, actively look around, whether it's your town or something that you can give to routinely, and you will find that like there is that exchange, because the people that you are selecting to donate either time or money to, their hearts are just as big as yours, and you feel at peace with that, and you start to look and to surround yourself and your energy with people's hearts that are just as big as yours. So encouraging that and nourishing that. Um, you are in a cycle of seven. And when someone's in a cycle of seven, it's a slower time, but that's okay, because it's a very spiritual focused time. The time that you have, which you'll always have more of, because a seven is known for making you like be able to focus on things, so it takes away distractions. The 7 will cancel plans, the 7 will make you feel like, "Oh, I don't know why I don't have energy to do stuff." The 7 will make sure that you're alone more often, and it's for the sake of, like, looking within and going, "Who am I really? And where do I wanna go? And what's really going on within my life?" It makes you have those questions, and so some people like freak out during this time, because they're like, oh my gosh, like I want to be doing more. What is going on? Like, I don't want to just be sitting with my thoughts. And some people relish within this time. And what I will say is, some people use this time to travel, where they can relax and have fun and have that space to go within, because the rest of the world is kind of like not as distracting. So you can use that little cheat sheet too, of just travel. Because I know a lot of people where they take this time and they go, I'm going to relax and enjoy this break and enjoy that I have my next phase coming up. Okay. So use this time to really kind of like course correct things, and to embrace that the year is not going to be as busy as last. Last year was more of a family centered year. If you can understand this, Deb, it's about like reconfiguring family and close relationships with friends. And this year is more like, okay, things are changing. What do I want to do about that? And you just have like a natural energy that pulls people to you. You really do. So just really embrace the time that you have with yourself. And within this more alone time, you actually can go out into the world and be with people, but it's not going to be your typical. You're not going to be your typical everyday, let's say, routine friendship or routine situation. Go out, if you want, develop at a class, develop like within your own time. You can even do Zoom classes, and you will have still a social circle from this change. It just is going to be a very different one. And you're going to find that you're not like going out of your way to do things and be around people. It's more like, hey, you're here with me too. Let's make the most of this moment. And I wish you well. And then you have all that time back in your corner. So that's what I'm trying to say to you, Deb. Like, really find a way to utilize all that time back in your corner to your highest extent. And if you want, you can kind of like focus on going more forward next year. Next year is going to be about like health more. And it can be more about developing, if you want, looking at like finances and resources and growing them, but it's a heavy correlation between how your health is doing and how you're going to grow your finances and really stabilize that next step in life. So that's what I'm giving to you, Deb. I hope it makes sense. Um, any message? Oh, she asked, any messages for Mother's Day? Mother's Day. um Help with my direction. Well, that's so for your help with your direction, that was what I was really highlighting. It's kind of like take this time to regroup, because I feel like you've had a lot of different thoughts of, I want to kind of do this, but I want to kind of do that, and it's like I kind of want to put it together, but I don't know how to do it, and like I got to find the right people, and it's just like, okay, that's a lot, and that's good. I love that. It's like just it's creative fireworks. So take this time this year, because it's made to just very naturally have you have focus. Start putting like those ideas together. Get into a place where you don't have distractions, and kind of like just start mixing up what you want to do, and go, maybe this, maybe that, maybe that. Give yourself that space so it's not just in your head for 5 seconds. Give yourself that space so you get to play around with it for an hour here and there. And things will come and shape themselves and get you excited. And you can start going into next year with that energy. You can start building now, but it will really manifest next year. You have really good manifesting numbers for next year with how you physically create. Okay? And that will help with your direction. All right, so let's see who is next. Mm. Oh, that's really nice. Jonathan says, Love and light from Ireland. Oh, that's cool. Ireland is a fantastic place. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay. Let's see. A lot of people, oh, here we go. Yeah, a lot of people are saying hi, but make sure you're saying I want a reading, because I have to have that consent with you. So Teresa Adams, she wants to know where her business is going. Okay, cool. That's a great question. Love questions like that. All right. So Teresa, you are an attitude 9 again. Okay, so some of the things that I said with Deb can apply. Personal day 8, and then you are a life path 4. That's right. Yep, that's right. And then you're in a cycle of 2. Oh, there you go. Okay, so all right. So this is just a snippet, okay? Because you can dive in super deep with numerology and get like way more specifics. But just looking at your numbers, you have some balancer numbers and you have creative numbers, okay? And you're in a cycle of 2. So immediately I see that you have 2 balancer numbers, and I go, okay, this cycle you can weather more easily, because cycle 2 is always like a very emotional year. It's a very emotional time, but it gets you to where you need to go with understanding like what your feelings are. And honestly, like our feelings are a compass to everything. We are sentient beings, and we really don't honor sometimes how powerful our emotions are. Sometimes our emotions are so powerful they control us, but when we are able to get the flow and understanding and mastery of our emotions, it's a very powerful thing that we can cultivate with understanding other people, ourselves, and really where our energy wants to pull us. We become this compass with the universe where we go, I feel like I want to go this way. I feel like I want to go that way. And, everything that we do as a reader, it goes back to our feelings in some way. Do we feel into our knowing? Do we feel into that sight? Do we feel into, the scene? And it's kind of a magical process. So I want to just highlight that with you within this year. Honestly, it's an invitation for you to dive into your intuition, dive into understanding about yourself more, and you will be more emotional. So this means throughout the year, you're going to be a little angrier, you're going to be a little sadder, you're going to feel like you're swinging at times. You're going to feel like from week to week or day to day, sometimes a little bit more ups and downs. And so I invite you to use this time to like open up yourself from within. Like whether someone's going through a 2 month or a 2 year, like I really highlight for them to like go into the soul. So whether it's therapy or art therapy where you're just like drawing more, painting more, or you are doing some type of healing work to bring this out within yourself, it's really important. The reason why I talk about this stuff before I go into business with you, because we really can develop and go like hard with our business. I will say if we're in a place of equilibrium, and this year is meant to be emotional. So this year we excel when we find our equilibrium. So that's why business success is so important, linked to finding your equilibrium this year. Okay. So perfect. Yeah, it's an invitation. I was just kind of going to go into that too as well. As I was like being invited to talk about your health, I did feel like that life coach kind of feeling interesting. So that makes sense, Teresa. Um, what happens is too, it's an invitation for you to be even better at your job. It really is, because you're going to understand angles of people's energy and their feeling and their processing that you did not understand the year before. It might be like subtle aspects, but this year blows the lid off of what you knew before and go, oh, this is a more effective way to work. This is my entry point into rapport with this person, or this is just such a beautiful form of healing. And I was able to activate that because I'm in a different place now. So this year is very much about that. And it's a good year for you because you have numbers to facilitate that. You have that 8 and that 4, which beautifully facilitates the high emotions of the year. Okay. You're an attitude 9. So yeah, you're a giver and servicer of others. Um, I want to see. Okay, so you asked something. I want to get a little bit more specific because I want to help you with specifics. So let me just pull some other numbers for you, Teresa. 1 second, because I want a little bit more. All right. So you're in a 2. So all right, and then we're in May. Okay, and then okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So what I want to, and I want to, yeah. I want to let you kind of know where you are within this year as well, like month to month a little bit more. This month is a 7 for you. That is correct. Yes. This month is a 7 for you. So you're going to feel like the soul calling out, like, what do I need to do next? Is this working? Is this effective? So you're going to feel like you have, again, remember when we talked to Deb about having that alone time pocket? It's going to hit this month if it already hasn't. Okay. And so 7 makes everything slow down. And sometimes people go, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Or like, isn't it supposed to be a little bit different? And no, that the 7 is one of the most spiritual numbers. It's all about you have time to look at your soul. You have time to receive messages from the universe. You have time to get what's not out in front of you. If our business is going at 100 miles per hour and our clients are saying, help me, help me, help me, we don't have any time to hear what spirit or the universe is saying to us or God is saying to us, depending on our religious belief. We don't have time to listen to that next greater step of, okay, you did this. Now we want you to transition to this or watch out for that. That's when 7 energy comes in hand, because it's saying, okay, inner self, or parts greater than me, something greater than me, and what is here in front of me on this earth, what next? So I would take it as a very exciting time for you to evolve yourself in the business. Okay. So do not feel ever as it is like this confusing defeat if the business slows down for a second. It's doing what it needs to do. There's cycles of energy. There's cycles of energy. And the more we master these cycles of energy, the more we can actually be flexible with what we're looking for. But in the beginning, when we're growing the business, these cycles of energy hit us and they go, okay, now work on this, work on that, work on that. Okay. And we need these pockets of time to transition. We really do. So I invite you for that. June, I'm going to say for you, is a great month. Okay. June is the number of 8 for you. And you have really good numbers to amplify this 8. As long as you're taking care of your health, as long as you are feeling strong within your body and you're listening to your body, you're going to have opportunities come to you. So I love 8s because 8s are opportunity months, like with money and business. 8 is the business number. And so usually when an 8 comes around, there's some type of offer, whether it's with a client or whether it's a partnership. It's an offer of, hey, would you like to do this? Or I'm looking to do that. Will you lead this? And so I'm going to give you some money. So you do have some ease coming on up. Okay, you do have some ease coming on up, and I do think you're just getting over the hump of the year. Okay, so like May is your hump, and you're going to coast a little bit more in June. It's just really take care of your body and use this month to do that. Use this month to do self care. Okay. So you can take care of others just times 2, times 3, times 4 when business picks up again. Okay. A little bit more into June. Okay. So I'm going to give you that, Teresa. And then let's go into the next. Let's see. Let's see. So Renee, okay. Renee, she's giving me her birthday. She's like, I'm a Leo with a Leo sun and a Scorpio moon. Oh yeah, you're bright and feisty. Um, I've been having a hard time. Would love a reading. Okay, yeah, sure, let's do this. You know, the energies are so high within the world that it is making us much more like drained and emotional, and we're just not used to kind of working through some of these things with the current pattern and flow kind of being output. So a lot of us are feeling kind of a little off kiltered. So continue to just know that we're changing. I really feel like we're changing as humans, where we are learning to become more emotional and sensitive. And so we're being bombarded with this energy to open ourselves up. So everyone's feeling like I'm even feeling it. It doesn't matter if you're used to sensitivity and feeling and you know different energies. It's just everyone's feeling a little bit off kilter wonky. All right, so we have for Renee, attitude 5 and personal day 6 and life path 7, I believe. Let me double check that. 1. Yep. Life path 7, and then we have a cycle of 3 for you. Okay. So I like this number for your cycle. We'll start with your cycle, Renee. So this is an invitation this year to actually make friends, venture out of your norm. 3 is a number of joy and fun, and it's a number of comedy, communication. So it makes opportunities for you to have fun pop up more. And so embrace them. It makes opportunities for you to find kindred souls more easily. So hopefully this does involve you, you know, meeting a friend, whether short term or long term, but meeting kind of somebody within your circle in some way, or outside of your circle to come into your circle, and you increase kind of your social network. So there's themes always like that. I always invite people that are in the cycle of 3 to take more classes, because you're going to meet good people who are in the same open social energy as you, and you have more like successful sticks and lucky chances of finding kindred souls. And it's also a great time to utilize going to the theater or going to a comedy club or going to some type of show. And it's like the world wants you to experience this creativity and upliftment of your energy. So you'll find yourself, having these like opportunities where you get like discounted tickets or like sales or deals. Manifest that energy, because the universe wants you out and about and to refuel yourself. Okay. So it's great. You're like, oh, okay, I'm feeling a little bit wonky. Well, this is actually a number that will help rectify that this year. Okay. You have an attitude 5. So an attitude 5 wants to be on the go. Like that's where your head is at. Okay. You're at your peak happiness when you're able to travel, explore, try new things, be more hands on. Okay. And this cycle number helps activate that. If, we're in constructs like, hey, I don't know if I have flexibility, or I don't know if I have like enough resources to do all the things that I want to do. So I feel constricted. Manifest, manifest, manifest. That's what I talked about. Like, you will have opportunities come to you where you're like, what, I can do that for 30 bucks? Like, what, I can do that for 15 bucks? Like, I know that sounds funny, but it's so true. And some of these experiences will be so healing for your soul. So that comes up really fast within what I'm feeling for you. And so you are a personal day 6. So you really do have this like mama bear energy where people just naturally feel like they can like confide in you or tell you their problems or their issues. So you have all these wonderful, actually, like first impression people numbers where you can navigate situations very easily and effortlessly. Um, and you have all these beautiful mental numbers where you need these mental stimulation. So, what I'm saying to you is you have really good numbers for expansion. And so, when someone has a lot of expansion numbers, they need to be out and about, or they need to be like tinkering away within their brain, creating something where they can like utilize it, where they're out the gate and just creating their reality. So these people don't these people with some of the numbers that you have don't need as much sleep as your average person. They just need to keep busy. And so if you find yourself drained, usually it's like your environment is not supporting you, the people around you are not supporting you, or you are not stimulating your brain enough to get excited so you can start like just activating your energy again. Okay. So the number one thing that I'm seeing is you have such a quick mind, such a quick mind, and you have such a need to be busy and out and about. So it's like activate that. That is going to recuperate your happiness. It really, really is. Okay. And you have those gorgeous Leo sun and moons. And the Leo moon naturally really wants to be out in the world and to teach and to share and to help others with their voice, to help others with their presence. The Scorpio moon wants to transform. Oh, you said you had a Scorpio moon, the Leo sun, and a Leo. Okay, I was thinking you were double Leo, Leo rising, because you've put down Leo twice. So excuse me. The Leo sun. So you have this Leo sun. So let me rephrase that. So your path is to learn, okay, as a Leo sun, to put yourself in situations more where you can be in front of people and to share your experiences and to help lead people. Okay. So it's a little bit different. And your Scorpio moon is your emotional state. And so you need to be in environments where you can transform. And so sometimes transformation energy takes you to heavy environments because it's like, this needs to change. This needs to change. So that could be in relationships. You're the catalyst for people's change. in friendships, in family, even at work. You're the catalyst for people to change and to be better. You call people out when change needs to be asserted. So it's like you have all this energy. You have all this intense energy within your numbers, within your astrology that longs to be activated. So if people are holding back, change your circles of people, change your environment, heck, change whatever you can, because the energy that you're in and being supported with, it's not allowing you to be that intense, that naturally beautiful, intense person you are, to change, to go in, to help, and to really feel like you are alive because you can be of use, because you have all this energy ready to burn. I'm just going to say it like that. You might be tired, but girl, you just need to activate it and you'll get a rush right back. Okay. Oh, you do have Leo rising. Okay. Square. Okay, good. So that makes sense. So you have Leo sun and Leo rising and Scorpio moon. Thank you for clarifying that. So with the Leo rising piece, um, again, people are naturally going to be drawn to you. They're going to be very drawn to you and they're going to pay attention to you. And that is actually very advantageous for you with leadership energy. So if you're not liking what you're around, honestly, it's like quit your job, really reconfigure your inner worlds. People are made to stop and listen to you, and you're made to activate change with that Scorpio moon energy. So there you go. I'm really glad that makes sense. Okay. You have intense energy, use it. Use it. Please use it. You got all those gifts and skills. All right. Let's see, where do we go? Um let's see. Jonathan, he's asking for a reading. Wow, so many people are attitude nines. I love it. Jonathan is an attitude nine. Yeah, like as I'm looking at everyone we've read so far, 3 of the 4 people have been attitude nines. Okay, so these messages can resonate with you with similar energy. Okay, personal day 5 and life path. I think you're life path 9 too as well. That's correct. Yep, that is correct. If you are 71, yep. And so you've been a cycle of 7. Okay. So Jonathan, your attitude 9, personal day 5, and life path 9. So someone who has a personal day 5, I always find this kind of fascinating because 5 is a number of like variety, it's a number of chaos, it's a very strong expansion number. And so when someone has a personal day of 5, they attract all different types of people to them. And usually I'm going to say this very compassionately, but it's usually some crazy energy, right? You're going to, whether it's a relationship, it's probably at least one of your relationship has, but maybe you stopped it, but at least someone or more than one person who has been interested in having a relationship has had very unbalanced energy, because 5, uh, they see the 5 in you, so they think, oh, you're up for this, you're game for it, you're used to this energy. So an eclectic amount of people find their way to you, and dramatic situations find their way to you. Okay, because your energy goes, hey, 5 energy, and the world goes, oh, 5 energy. So that's kind of how it goes. But it's great because you are the gatekeeper, so you will always get an eclectic number of situations, but you get to call the shots. Ultimately, you get to decide who's in your friend group. You get to decide what environments you put yourself in, and you will have more of a choice within life than most people. So choose wisely and don't be scared that you won't have more options coming forward, because you kind of always will. All right. So that's with jobs, that's with people, that's with situations. Okay. So you have this never ending kind of dial going for you. So choose wisely. Attitude 9 and life path 9. When you have a lot of nines in your chart, especially in certain locations, it indicates again having to grow up very early as a child, having to take responsibility as self as a child. Um, either being alone as a child or actually taking on the parental role as a child, where others are not taking care of you. You have to take care of yourself or you have to take care of your parents. Okay, so it's responsibility very early at a very early age, not relating to other kids around you quite the same way in the beginning early stages, because you have very different considerations than the average child. So that comes into play, but it makes you naturally um, coordinated in very chaotic environments as an adult. Okay, so you develop these skills early, and then as an adult, you can actually like find yourself in kind of anywhere, any situation, and you can kind of just figure it out. Like you don't need a roadmap, you don't need a lot of instruction. Someone could just drop you anywhere, you could drop yourself anywhere, and you can really figure it out because you've had to kind of survive at a younger age. So you have a little bit more mastery over than that. And so what it makes you is it makes you a very natural leader. You won't always want to assume a leadership role. You can if you ever want to, but it makes you a very natural leader because you can help others in so many different circumstances. Okay. And it's just a matter of how do you put yourself up um, with all these skills that you naturally have. You probably overlook a lot of skills that you naturally have. You probably go, oh, well, yes, I have this and I have that, but, I really want to be, building up this and that. And it's just like, what am I trying to say as I say it? I'm trying to say that you might be fixating on this dream that you have for yourself, and you should continue to work towards the dream and continue to work towards the goal because it's going to teach you about yourself. But you have all these talents, and I feel like people have told you this over the years, and you're just like, nah, nah. And it's just like, no, you have all these talents and skills at your disposal. Start patting yourself on the back for it. Start articulating yourself around people like, I can do this, I'm capable of that. And again, your opportunities are going to continue to open up, your networking and people to help you create your dream and your purpose are just going to come out of the woodwork because they're like, oh, you're able to do that? Like, I could pay you if you help me out with this. Or you're able to do that. I know so and so who does the same thing. So it's like, take everything that has made you you and start like talking about it more. Start shining a light on it more. And I'm telling you, life will open up just as equally and get you to where you need to go. I feel like this is going to be like a superpower within your life once you activate it. Get to talking more. You're actually a very dynamic person and you need to start sharing that. That comes in really strongly. You're in a cycle of 7. So this is a little bit, again, of this quieter year energy that is coming out within you. And it's just a matter of you slowing down and reconfiguring. Okay. So whether it is, you're meditating more and focusing on that, or you are focusing on strengthening your mind. I feel like there needs to be some type of mind strengthening. Okay. But this is the time to go within and to re-coordinate how you want to go forward within the outside world. And part of that is just really acknowledging who you are and kind of reviewing your life so far. So past, present, so you can go forward with future. And so when reviewing the past, like really look at yourself compassionately and cheerlead yourself. And I think that is the next kind of piece. Okay, so I'm going to give that to you, Jonathan. And let's see here. Let's see who's next. Let's see. Comments. I'm glad this is resonating for people. And then we got Tammy and Courtney. Okay. Courtney, if you want a reading, just pop down your numbers or consent to such. Because people are commenting, but I just have to make sure they want a reading too. So Tammy, you're next. And you are an attitude 6. Yes. You are a personal day 6 as well. And you are a life path 1, I believe. Oh, hey, Deidre, sending hugs right back. Deidre's a sweetheart. I love Deidre. Thank you for coming in to say hi, Deidre. That makes my day. Thank you. Okay, so let me just double check with the. Yep, that's right. So she's a life path 1, and so then we have a cycle of 8. Okay, cool. So for Tammy, okay, you're an attitude of 6. So 6 is a very a strong number, and it wants to pull people into harmony, okay? Or it wants to pull people into um be in a place where it's like you can utilize these energies for betterment. How can I put it? That's what I'm trying to say. 6s are hard workers, okay? They're hard workers, so they want to see other people working just as hard, or they want to see other people within their purpose. So they're like, okay, what are we building together? Of what utility are our energies working together in? So it really breaks down into your considerations with people. It's like, do I see this person as a friend or family? You're thinking that a lot, and how you want to relate to this person and how you want to include this person within your daily life or within like the work environment, how you relate and how you respect and trust people. Okay. Because 6 goes, okay, we're a group. We can work together. Unless someone is unruly, unless someone's disrespectful, unless someone is just too odd, and then they're really not part of the group, but we'll try to work with him. So the 6 is very, very hardworking and just wants a thank you. And naturally, it includes people to become part of like a family unit in a sense, to become part of an environment where everyone thrives together. So I always find it like really interesting because when people have attitude 6, they long to build a family, whether it's a metaphoric family or an actual family. Family is very, very important to them. And so, since you have a personal day 6, this kind of amplifies that you are very inclusive of people and you want people to feel comfortable around you and to open up around you. And I do think naturally people do feel like, they can come to you for help, and that makes you feel really good. Okay, so you have a 6, 2 6s and a 1, and so those are very strong energy placements. So again, I'd have to look at your whole entire chart, but it would showcase to me that you're one that doesn't need as much sleep as the average person. Okay, like you can kind of burn the midnight oil, or burn the candle at both ends a little bit more, because 6 has all this service energy, like they are built to help others. Now a 1, life path 1, they do need to watch their energy a little bit more, because your path within life to feel fulfilled, it's all about going your own way, going your own direction. Either it indicates one of 2 things, a life path 1. It indicates like kind of having independence in relationships and making sure that you're honoring yourself and you have autonomy, or it highlights within the business world that you have to create something, whether it's your own business or whether you have to help lead a project that someone else has created, like you are helping the vision move forward. Because life path 1 people, they make it their life's mission to make time for themselves. They make it their life's mission to really be inspired and to really have fire with under them, to be called to causes that are important to them. And so since they always make this space within their life, the more mature they get and the more they are on their path, naturally they go, okay, I need to do this. I need to be a part of this. And this is what makes me happiest. So they find themselves pretty late in life, usually always like working, or again, making sure they have autonomy in relationships to do what their soul is called to do. So you need this natural freedom in order to be happy. And so I'm highlighting that if that is a validation. I just want to bring that up. It's like you'll always be called to work hard, but you can't be tied down if something doesn't resonate, or if something within business or within relationship doesn't give you your freedom and doesn't acknowledge you for the individual you are, because you are made as you grow to have more, I guess, extreme and different views than what most people have, and you have to live your life in a way that honors them. So be the individual that is you, and you will actually create your family and your friendships as you go, and the real ones will always come with you and come around. Okay, so I think that's really important to acknowledge and demonstrate within your energy. The real ones will always come with you, and you have energy to always create new ones as you go. You will not be alone within that. Just have confidence, and you will always fly pretty free and true and attract others to you. You're in a cycle of 8. So last thing I'm going to say with that is really watch your health. It's a great time to make money. It's a great time to get projects off the ground. But 8 is a material number. So it deals with wealth, but it deals with the body, because we are in material bodies. We're in a material realm. Okay. And we just have to make sure during that time, Tammy, that you are on top of things with health. So for instance, like 2 years ago, you were in a cycle of 6. And when a cycle of 6 occurs, a lot of changes happen. A lot of emotional changes happen usually. And it could be actually a very good time for you because you have a lot of good 6s in your charts, but it's an emotional time, and it actually showcases within your energy things that need to be healed. Okay, so you get all these like kind of medical like little like, oh, I have to do this, or this is better for my health, or but they're more subtle, right? Well, when things build, so from 2 years ago to last year to now, maybe you took care of some stuff, but the stuff that you didn't take care of, it will blare at you this year. And it can derail you, because 8 is a number of truth as well. It's like, take care of this. We're giving you information. Your body is giving you information. If you receive this truth, you will soar. If you receive this truth but avoid it, you will have consequences, because the truth is the truth. So the truth opens up more energy, so more abundance, and corrects and restores. And if we are not hearing the signs, even as subtle as they are, because we think we're like, I'll have time later. What happens is things break down very, very quickly, because we have to acknowledge the physical body and the material signs and boundaries that are going on this year. So that is what I'm giving to you, Tammy. Really make sure that you're listening to all the signs with health, and to not think that it can be put off. Okay. All right. I'm going to say that. And if you haven't felt it, it's going to come up. So listen, that's my ring of truth that I give to you as well. All right. So with that said, everybody, I'm going to send you a lot of love and light. It goes by really fast. Thank you for sticking around and hearing the messages coming forth and listening to the numerology and the feelings and impressions. We will be back for the reading show next week. And also this week we have Carrie Standfast. She is a medium from England, and so we'll be diving into her life and experiences. And I'm really looking forward to that and to talking with Carrie. With that said, again, everyone, please go with love, light, luck, and don't forget to live. I will see you on Friday for the Psychic Hour. Again, see you then.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.